In 2026, the most profitable products in cross-border trade are not the cheapest ones, they're the smartest ones. AI isn't creating new industries, it's rebuilding traditional industries. And right now I'm here at the Canton fair and you can literally see it is absolutely packed with people from all over the world coming to China to buy, to make a deal, to do some serious business. Today I'm taking you inside one of the fastest growing categories, robotic lawnmowers. According to Grandview Research, this market was valued at 9.3 billion in 2025 and is expected to hit almost 22 billion by 2033 with over 11% annual growth. And over here I can already see a crowd around the yacht booth, and once you get closer it's pretty obvious why. What they're showing here is not just one robot mower, they're showing several different technology routes behind this category. You've got the RTK Plus Vision, V-SLAM with triple camera vision, and also LiDAR combined with Vision Fusion. And basically what that means is these machines are getting smarter about how they map, navigate and avoid obstacles. Some of these models can build up a 3D understanding of the environment, workday or night, and handle much more complex spaces without the old school setup people used to associate with robotic mowing. One of the biggest trends here is wire-free operation. So no boundary wires, no installation headache, no messing around for ages before you can even use it. You scan, set it up and go. And from what I'm seeing, the real barrier now isn't just hardware anymore. It's the combination of AI vision and computing power. That's really where this category is separating serious players from everybody else. When you look at where robotic mowing has traditionally been strong in places like Europe, North America and Australia markets with high labor costs and large lawns. But what's changing now is that adoption is spreading much faster into Asia, Pacific, Latin America and the Middle East. And that opens up a very different kind of opportunity for distributors. These products sit in a much more premium category than traditional machines, which means stronger pricing. And because the technology barrier is higher, it also helps reduce the kind of brutal price wars you often see in lower end product categories. Then on top of that, once you add OTA upgrades, accessories and service potential, it stops being just a one-time sale and starts becoming more of a longer term business. And what's also interesting is this technology clearly doesn't stop at backyard lawns. You can already see how the same logic extends into things like all-terrain mowing robots and even autonomous spraying systems. And honestly, that's where the bigger long-term story probably is. So from backyard lawns all the way to full-scale farming, robots are starting to take over more and more outdoor labor. Now, here's something else that stands out. Behind all this technology, there's also the brand side of the business, and that brings us to Scenix. So if Yat represents a lot of the technical and manufacturing capability behind this space, Scenix is the brand taking that into global markets in a much more complete way. Scenix isn't just trying to sell one or two products here. What they're presenting is a full system. On the manufacturing side, they've got production bases in China, Mexico, and Thailand. They've got 285 engineers, and one of the big points that they keep emphasizing is that the core components, things like motors, controllers, and batteries, are all developed in-house. And that matters because in this kind of industry, control over the core tech is a big part of what gives a brand long-term stability. Then on the brand side, they're not just talking about products, they're talking about branding, marketing, product strategy, and after-sales support. So the pitch here is not just here's a machine, it's more like here's a business system you can actually build around. And when you look across the booth, you can see that pretty clearly. Scenix has a full line of lawn mowers, chainsaws, trimmers, blowers, power tools. So this goes from small yard use all the way up to professional landscaping. And it also reflects that broader shift from gas-powered equipment into lithium battery systems. This is not really about selling just one SKU. This is about building a complete product ecosystem. And now, chainsaws. This is one of their flagship categories. The positioning here is basically serious performance, premium build quality, and a move toward electric products that can compete with traditional gas machines. And clearly they want to be seen not as a budget player, but as a serious long-term industry brand. And over here, brush cutters. This category is especially relevant in places like Southeast Asia. And in that kind of environment, the real test isn't just how it looks on a display stand, it's durability, adaptability, and whether it can actually handle heat, humidity, and long hours of use. That's where products either prove themselves or don't. And then check this out. This blower is seriously powerful. This is exactly the kind of product where someone tries it once, feels the performance immediately, and suddenly the sales conversion gets a lot easier. So to sum it up, Scenix's strength doesn't seem to be just about any one individual product. It's the fact they're building a fully integrated ecosystem across multiple categories. And for distributors, that's important because a brand like this is much easier to scale. You're not trying to build a business around one isolated product line. You've got a broader system, broader upsell potential, and more room to grow. And for end users, it creates one complete equipment system that can cover multiple scenarios. A lot of people here are distributors, importers, and potential partners, and the conversations are exactly what you'd expect. Products, pricing, supply, and long-term partnership models. What seems to be attracting attention is not just the range of products, but the technical capability behind them. In this industry, it really comes down to core technologies, motors, batteries, controllers, and that's clearly one of the areas they want to emphasize. And if you're a distributor, that makes a difference because you're usually not looking for a brand you can sell once. You're looking for one you can build with over time, with product consistency and ongoing development. Another thing buyers care about a lot, especially right now, is supply stability. That obviously matters for distributors who want a more secure and reliable supply chain. And beyond that, they're also pushing the idea that they offer more than just products. They're talking about support across branding, online traffic, localized campaigns, product training, sales materials, channel strategy, and after-sales service. So again, the message here is pretty clear. They're not trying to position themselves as just a hardware supplier. They want to be seen as a long-term business partner. If you're in fast-growing markets like Southeast Asia, the Middle East, or Latin America, and you're looking for a brand you can build with long-term, Scenix is definitely worth a serious look. What's interesting is that this is bigger than just landscaping tools. It's moving from equipment into smarter devices, robotic applications, and a much broader outdoor technology space. So that means you're not just looking at what sells today, you're looking at a category that could keep expanding over time. Anyway, that is the end of this video, guys. And I will see you at the next destination. Who knows where it's gonna be? See you in the next one. Signing off from the Canton Fair. Signing off.